What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Guys, I want to shift our focus to Kenan Thompson, all right? And I want to talk about him because, you know, here on the Celebrity Junk, he reminds a lot of us as black men of ourselves. A guy who had some talent. He came from, meager upbringings, and he rose to the top. Okay, he was in, Kenan and Kel. He was also in the Good Burger and the Fat Albert and the Saturday Night Live. He's been there for 19 years. He reminds us of people who put in hard work and become somebody. All right, he was bred to do this. Now, many times when you're a brother like Kenan Thompson, you are not considered to be, necessarily cool. You're on Nickelodeon, and Nickelodeon is really what was for nerds. I loved Nickelodeon when I was a kid, Nick at Night and stuff like that. So you see brothers like Kenan Thompson typically go towards white women. We're just going to be real, okay? Especially being a teenage star and being around a whole bunch of different other people, different backgrounds. He ended up marrying a Caucasian lady by the name of Christina Evangeline. And excuse me if she's not, but she looks like that. And this is what I typically hear. As a black man in our community, we're not accepted so much, so we need to go out and get somebody else. And I know guys personally like that. I know guys who are very, very wealthy and they have a Caucasian wife, and it works out. But in this case, they have split up after nearly 11 years of marriage. Okay. And now they have been separated for longer than that, about a year, and they've been co-parenting for about along that time, and they just announced that. But if you look at this, what we see is something similar to Robert Smith. Robert Smith is a black billionaire, and he's a guy, if you want to be real, he's a little overweight, chubby kind of guy. He's married to a model. All right. Same thing with Kenan Thompson. It's a bigger man. So lady, obviously, if he didn't have money, we could assume that she wouldn't be with him, and he gets a white lady. Okay. And in this case, they're divorced. So then my question is for black men who feel that, white women are better. How do you explain this? How do you explain this? All right. Just as we want to talk about with the brother Christian, who just got, stabbed to death by Courtney Taylor. My question is, how do you explain that? And I think, again, we always believe it's white and it's right. Now, let me just say this. When you're a guy that's intelligent and sometimes don't fit the patterns of, what is stereotypical hood or black, it's easier around other groups of people to be accepted. I know I went to college with those people. I went to medical school. One of my best friends, one of our colleagues is a dentist, and he's married to a lady that's Persian. I get it, which is interesting because he went to Meharry Dental School and he still married a Persian lady. But the reality is that what we don't look at is these black men, when they get to the top, are they marrying the same ladies that have those similar values? And what I'm figuring out as I'm getting older in life is that marriage has nothing really to do with race. And this is what we've been really thinking about a lot of times. If you deal with somebody from Brazil, they're more submissive. If you deal with somebody from Africa, they're more submissive. Now, culturally, that can be true. You can definitely find people that are more, it's more in the culture of women not to be as demanding as women in the States, at least so vocally. But what we're leaving out here is that people stay together based on permanent interest. Okay? Every relationship that we have as black men, and I really want to get this over to you guys. One of the reasons why you guys listen to this channel, The Celebrity Junk, it is customized for an African-American male audience, for a black male audience. That's why we talk about the things we talk about in the celebrity world in depth as I discuss it, because we're dealing with your permanent interest. I relate this content to you, and you come back and support. Similarly, in any relationship, whether it's business or if it's love and there are times where things are tough, what keeps us together? What keeps us being friends? You know, Uganda and Rwanda had an issue the last few years. The border was closed. You couldn't even drive through there, but it's now open now. It's now open for business. The two presidents, it is alleged that they had some personal situations that need to be worked out. It's not uncommon for neighboring countries to go through things like that. But why did those borders open? I can tell you why. It's permanent interest. It's easier for Rwanda to get the goods from Uganda and vice versa, right? We live in a world where permanent interests are in effect, and people who stay longer together typically are those where those permanent interests are being met. For some women, it's providership. For some women, it's educational. A lot of times it's social class, usually. It's understanding and compromising for one's needs. These are things that keep people together regardless of what the race is. And many times we look down on our own people, we look down on our own women, our own men. And I've always been a social critic here on YouTube, but I've always preferred my own people, and I still do. Because humans, just like black men, people always talk about black men are apathetic, they won't support. It's bullshit. If you give a black man a reason to support you, he will. If you have respect for him, if you have his permanent interest in check, he will help you, he will support you. That is what we're dealing with here. We fail to do that. And in marriage and communities, I mean, obviously we have the swirling community and the SYSBM and all that. I get that. What is the permanent interest of wherever you're going in life? Who are you going to be dealing with? How do you make them happy outside of the fact that you're black and you have a long D and she got some tight cat? Okay, after that, what is the permanent interest? Because they ain't going to keep her. Oh, you got money, you got education, and the people in the black community don't like you? Okay, fine. So you go over there to Vietnam or you go to Philippines. What keeps y'all together? Permanent interest? Go. Your success is one thing. Your income is one thing. And saying that I'm gonna go and deal with a race of people is another thing. Okay, I'm gonna be dealing with a white woman or a white man or whatever. But what keeps that person wanting to be with you through tough times? Because then after that, the race is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Okay, oh yeah, I'm dating a black guy, or black, white girl is so cool, or white woman said, I'm dating a black guy, and black man said, I'm dating a white woman, and the Asian man said, I got me a white woman. All right, okay. And then after all of that, what is the permanent interest that keeps y'all together? And that's the thing that we have to understand. What are people's permanent interests in relationships, in business, in friendships? Once you keep those things going, then that's why it happens. But when you don't, then you divorce. And then a lot of guys go to so many communities, the white community, the black community, and then you don't align with those interests, and then what happens? You get divorced. You go out of business. So I have friends from Sacramento that moved to Atlanta or New York City or Oakland. Yeah, man, this ain't got enough opportunity for me. They go to those cities and do what? Nothing. They still just as regular and dusty as they ever were. Don't understand the permanent interest of success, how to get around successful people, how to go ahead and make people want to be a part of their life. Don't understand it. And it ain't got nothing to do with race. It's about your behavior, how you come up, what are your interests with people, your class, and all the other stuff. And sometimes it just don't work out. I get it. But it's not so much a race thing. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I already appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell, check out the first comment at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains an all-time high. I'm out.